We can still find inverses and interpret our inverses even if we're given a word problem. Let's do two examples. The equation P of n equals 0.2n plus 5.3 is the price in dollars for n grams of something. I don't know what it is. Anyhow, let P inverse be the inverse of P and X be the output of P. First, let's describe P inverse. Let's talk about the units here. This whole equation tells me the price, and N tells me grams. Remember, inverse, you switch your X and Y values. So I'm going to switch my price and my grams. So this equation tells me the price for N grams. If I switch those, that means that I will have the grams for P, or I guess X is our output. All right, that doesn't exactly make sense. Let's clean it up a little bit and make it sound a little better. So our inverse function is the amount of grams we can get, buy, whatever, for X price. On your homework, this will be multiple choice, so you won't have to figure out the wording exactly well. Just kind of have the general idea of how to switch your units to come up with the new description. All right, now let's figure out what our inverse function is. Here's our original function. Let's switch our X and N in this case and solve for X. Let's actually just leave that all together as one big fraction. So this is my inverse function. And now determine P inverse of 6.6. We are going to substitute in a 6.6 for my n value. You can calculate this in your head or use a calculator. 6.6 minus 5.3 is 1.3. Type that into your calculator or work through it in your head and you get 6.5. Let's do another example. Amy is walking. D of t equals 11.5 minus 5t is the distance in kilometers from Tomsville after t hours of walking. Let D inverse be the inverse of D and X be the output of D. Describe D inverse. Okay, let's talk about our units here. This whole equation is the distance, or kilometers. The time here, or the t here, the input, is hours, or time. So the equation tells me distance in terms of hours. So if I switch those units, then my inverse will tell me how many hours it took to get however many kilometers away. Or if we clean it up and write our description a little bit better, D inverse is the amount of time it took to walk X kilometers. They say use an X instead of D. All right, now let's determine D inverse. Last step, let's determine D inverse of 5.5. Replace our T with a 5.5. Subtract across the top. Divide this out, double negatives makes it a positive.